Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Adam RPG with me, Bring It On. There's a Beatles reference over here. Four Beatles and Let It Be. Alright, let's get talking. An elderly militiaman is standing at his post, watching over the dirty streets of Krasno with a serious gaze. Noticing you, he frowns sternly. What can I do for you, comrade? Nothing in particular, just wanted to ask how service is treating you. Very well, thank you. Even better when I'm not being distracted from my duties. I think it'd be best if you direct your questions at the younger officers. I want to ask, where's the best place to get medical help in Krasno? Right behind my back there is our hospital. The people working there are real saints. They'll fix you up in no time. But if you need to buy medicine, you should go to the pharmacy. It's close to the city gates. Well, I'm actually interested in all sorts of gossip and rumors. I heard that this fellow Maslov, the hero of the Battle of the Berlin Wall who lives here in the city, is just pretending to be a war hero. But since I wasn't in that battle, didn't serve with Maslov, and don't even read the papers, I can't confirm nor deny these claims. I understand. Well, I'll go think it over. Alright, this guy's on the move. Let's talk to him. A man in his 50s, with an unshaved harsh face and unfriendly eyes, greets you with a short nod. You see his left arm covered in washed-out, barely discernible tattoos, moves to the belt a long, heavy hunting knife is attached to. What do you want, man? What are you interested in? I'm interested in your tattoos. Did you get them in prison, or are they purely decorative? The question obviously irritates the man, who quickly hides his tattooed arm behind his back. Or tattooed arm. Greetings from the old life, bro. I don't think about these marks, and you shouldn't either. They don't get to use this very often. Hey, Friar. I'll be the one who decide when to forget what. Spit it out. Which kind are you? The man's eyes go round. He clenches his fists. I'm a man. Of the gray ones. Yeah, sure. Show me your arm. Let's see what your tattoo says. What a pest you are. Okay. I suppose there's no harm in telling this to a person who knows a thing or two of it himself. I got to prison when I was 20, out of sheer stupidity. A friend of mine framed me. Bastard. I thought I was helping him get an old fridge to dumpster, and it turned out he's trying to hide his girlfriend's corpse. Crap. I think the rest doesn't need telling, and my tattoo means my nickname. The man shows his arm. You barely discern a washed-out picture with the word giraffe written underneath. Well, well. Wait a second. Are you taking me for a ride? Giraffe is no ordinary nickname. Spit it out, douche. Okay. Shut your mouth. The man jerks his arm back and turns his right side to you. Bastard, got me in the end. Okay then. He calms down a bit and lowers his eyes. Screw it. I got down the hierarchical ladder a bit. I was sitting on the toilet and heard that jerk, my roommate, fussing about my bed. I looked in the cell over the curtain. I still knew then, and didn't know it was not allowed. These jerks didn't take into account how young I was. So they called me Giraffe, someone who looks over the curtain when he's on the toilet. Yeah, it's a thing. And the next 5 years were utter hell. I had no friends, no one to talk to, no chance to have a meal in a company. I did the meanest jobs, they beat me up, for a reason or for fun. Bastards. I even wanted to kill myself just to stop it. The thoughts of my margarita were the only things that stopped me. Jeez, okay. It could happen to anyone, bro. Now that you're free, there are different laws. Let's change the subject and forget about it. Go ahead. Actually, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Why not? Until the boar hunting season doesn't start, I always have some time. What can you tell me about yourself? My name is Gina. I'm a hunter. You might have seen my wife, Margarita. She often goes to the market. We moved here together not that long ago, and we live a decent, calm life. What else can I tell you? Once I nearly got killed by a dangerous mutant when I was hunting, and the man next to you is the one who saved my life. While I was unconscious, my wife went to him for vodka, which he gave her for free to make compresses. The first time during the conversation, Gina smiles friendly. The smile is directed at your companion, Fidel. What I did doesn't deserve such gratitude, amigo. I was just being kind. There are two things I hate in you, bro, and your freaking modesty is one of them. What's the other thing you don't like in Fidel? The way my wife looks at him. The man starts laughing at his own joke, and claps Fidel on the shoulder in a good-natured way. But something in his eyes proves he takes this innocent joke far more serious. Ahaha, your jokes, Gina, would suit a stand-up comic. Yeah, I'm funny, if you think about it. Well, this is an interesting story you have. Another question. Go on, ask what you want. Do you only hunt boars? If we're talking about delving deep into the thick of the forest for several days, sleeping in tents, then yes, only boars. Well, and moose sometimes, or bears, if I have an opportunity to sell the meat. As for smaller game, like myrmics, scolias, spiders, them I hunt all year round. They're common around the city. I see. What rumors have you heard? I mostly hear hunters' tales. There's one, listen. People say that during the war, one bomb didn't hit the city it was aimed at. Instead, it hit a nature reserve at the city border. It fell right on top of a herd of deer, and the radiation of the heat made this herd fuse together into a single creature. A huge, taller than any house chimera of many hooves and horns, which also possesses a mind that exceeds not only that of a deer, but also that of a man. They say this beast wanders these lands to this day, showing deer herds the way to pastures not affected by radiation. If it meets a hunter on the way, it instills a thought in his head that he should kill himself. And he does, with his own hands. People call this chimera deer aristocracy. Sounds creepy. Wouldn't want to meet it. What can you tell me about this place? I'm mostly happy. These are good lands. Thick forests teeming with game are not too far from here, even though I think there are fewer and fewer animals in them every year. But I dismiss this thought. Surely it can't be that nature that survived even the war is dying now. Oh, who knows, who knows. Perhaps the war was just the beginning of the real end of the world. I have another question. Alright, actually I have no question to ask. I have to go. See you later. Alright, does she get mad if I take stuff in here? Nope. Let's see, what do I got? Anything worth 100 rubles I can trade? Nope. The bored woman at the counter gives you a quick look and quickly lowers her eyes at the paperback in front of her. Reading something interesting? The woman sighs and puts her tattered book aside. Not really. Chick lit. Do you have an appointment? No, I've just popped in. Then I'm afraid I can't help you. How is it possible? Such a beautiful lady, sitting alone, all bored. The woman smiles, looks away, then lowers her eyes before raising them at you again. Why bored? I have plenty of things to do. There's usually a lot of work. You just happen to come on a quiet day. Well, I see you like reading. This is very rare in the Wasteland. The woman snorts and looks you in the eye. I like men who read books. It's so unusual these days. So intriguing. Maybe you could tell me about your favorite authors, and I'll tell you about mine. It seems you haven't come off as very smart. She looks at you sarcastically. I'd love to, but not now. I have too much work to do. Well, as you wish. Let's change the subject then, so you can hook up with her if you have high enough intelligence. But I don't, so... The woman gives you a short nod and leans back on the chair. Could you answer a couple of questions? The woman casts a quick glance at her book, smiles, and snaps her book shut. Why not? It doesn't happen too often that visitors want to have a chat. Tell me a bit about yourself. Well, I make some money working as a nurse. I was lucky to finish a first aid course during my year-long travel with a medical caravan. I've seen so much, and I've got so many skills. I can imagine. May I ask another question? I'm listening. What can you tell me about this place? Our clinic is a good one. We always have plenty of work. I can't complain. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, can I ask another question? Tell me about your city. There are places I never want to go back to. Places that look as if they have never known civilization or human touch. Where spiders and giant wasps aren't the only mutants. In comparison to them, our settlement is true paradise. So I'm not leaving it for love or money. Hey, Krasno's doing really well. Tell me some interesting rumors. I've heard that weird mutants have appeared at the lakes in the south. They are slow and passive, and look like a crossbreed of a turtle and a middle-aged man with a huge four-nippled udder. Rumor has it they can be milked, and their milk is blue. I never drank something like that. It does you more harm than good, but some consider this yucky thing to be a real delicacy. I like to try some blue milk. Anyway. You know what? Let's change the subject. Okay, I won't disturb you. Bye. We'll talk to this guy back here. I wonder if he gets mad if we steal from him. Nope, he does not like it. That's fair. A man dressed as a doctor walks pensively across a small room. He holds a heap of papers in his hands. He constantly browses through them and mumbles under his breath. As he sees you, he nods warily. Dr. Maximov, a specialist in radiation syndrome and addiction treatment. Do you have an appointment, or have you just come round? I have just come round. I'd like to have a checkup, Doc. If you don't have an appointment, you have to pay for the treatment. Radiation poisoning and alcoholism treatment is 400 rubles. Drug abuse treatment is 600. Everything according to our price list. Oh, I see. Let's change the subject then. Okay, let's do that. I'd like to buy some medications. I have to warn you that if you want a better choice, you need to go to the city pharmacist. We don't have much in terms of medicine on sale here, and with him, you can always negotiate the price. That doesn't matter. Show me what you got. Alright. Maybe we can have a chat then. The doctor smiles absent-mindedly and nods. He's clearly warmed up to you. Well, I guess it won't hurt to answer a couple of questions. What do you want to know? Tell me about yourself, Dr. Maximov. I'm a doctor, a professional medic. There's even a parchment proving my qualifications lying over there, somewhere. The war broke out when I was in my first year. After the initial panic, we continued our studies. We had opportunities to practice we'd never have had in times of peace. You can't even imagine it now. Yes, those were terrible times. You can ask another question. The doctor gives a short, wary nod. How's work? Have enough to do? Yeah, we have enough on our hands. Surprisingly, there haven't been many cases of acute radiation syndrome recently. People have become wiser. They know contaminated places now and shun them. I mostly deal with alcoholics. This vice will never cease to bring new patients to my office. You're right. Alcohol is the bane of our existence. What can you tell me about the city, in a nutshell? My coffee did not want to go down. Alright, nothing bad. Sorry, nothing bad. If you remove politicians from the central bomb shelter, cult followers from the streets, and those quacks from Mycelium, who constantly preach about their high values, it'll be perfect. Just like before the war, but with shorter queues in shops. Well, that's a positive attitude. Heard any good rumors? I don't deal in rumors. I can give you a piece of advice. If you don't want to see your GP too often, ignore tins that are at least as old as dinosaurs, and don't eat raw food. Kill an animal, cut the meat, and salt it properly. Salt helps against intestinal worms, sterilizes food, and helps to preserve it. Why am I making all this hype about it? Try saving numerous peasants from a beef tapeworm, and you'll promote preventative measures too. You must have had some nasty experience. Alright. And it's time for me to go. Good luck with your work. Okay, good. We found some stuff we can trade. It's almost perfect. I believe this is the head of the hospital. And she does give us a quest. I'm not mistaken. A woman sitting at the table seems busy with some, undoubtedly, important papers. Having felt your arrival, she slowly, as if unwillingly, lifts her eyes from the papers and looks up at you. You're quick to notice a signed plate on her desk. It reads, Dr. Zeneda Petrovna? I'm sorry, young man. I'm a little busy with my research. Can I help you? Oh, hey, Doc. I need your help. I don't know whether or not you have talked to the other hospital staff yet. But here we treat only residents of our city. Everybody else needs to pay their hard-earned cash for all our treatments. Toxic poisoning treatment, 300 rubles. General body recovery, 100 rubles. So that's how it is. Let's change the topic then. The woman quickly nods and glances over the papers in front of her. I'd like to buy some medications. This is not a pharmacy. We don't sell any medicine just like that. But I might have something we don't need anymore. That's exactly what I need. Show me what you've got. Okay. What is your research about? Zeneda Petrovna skeptically stares at your unsophisticated face. Don't take it the wrong way, young man. But somehow you don't strike me as a person who can appreciate the complexity of my struggle. I don't want to burden you with all this. Well, suit yourself. Let's talk about something else. The woman quickly nods and glances over the papers in front of her. I may ask you some questions. Zeneda Petrovna sighs and moves the papers to the side. Oh, fine. I really could use a little break. What would you like to know? Who are you, Zeneda Petrovna? Well, where did you arrive? To a medical establishment. Do I look like a patient? No. So, figure this out yourself, young man. Reasonable. May I ask something else? The woman nods in agreement. What is it that you do? I'm doing my best as a doctor, but even this trade has its own poets. Great doctors, and not some self-taught amateurs. Physicians, not witch doctors. Medical men, real men, like Dr. Mikoyan from Otranoye, for example. Throughout human history, a great doctor was a treasure that wasn't easy to find. May I ask something else? Tell me about the services you provide. If you need stitching up, that can be easily arranged. If you need to get rid of an infection, we'll do that for you. Want to become a man you've always wanted to become? Forget about the bottle? It's possible. Just talk to my colleague, Dr. Maximov. I'll remember that. Have you heard any great gossip lately? I'm not big on gossip, but I do have a piece of advice for you. Books should be your best friends. Recently I bought an old issue of Medicine for the Workers from a bookseller. And believe it or not, ideas from that magazine proved to be useful while treating every other patient. I feel that my skills have significantly improved from reading it. Old knowledge has great value. Okay, so can't get the quest from her. I think she wanted me to bring her... I think it was like one of those long fetch quests. But I do not remember now. Let's see if he gets mad at me for... I can't get past him. Come on. Do something. Whoops. Sweet, he does not care. Alright. The man before you looks tired. Tired of people, of work, of life itself. He quickly nods to you, shaking his greasy hair, and to your surprise, starts talking to you first. Petrov, I'm the local mortician. The man's voice is low and calm, but there's a tragic undertone you barely notice. Nice to meet you. I'm... Petrov sighs, looking like he hoped you'll skip the introduction. Donnie. Yes. Glad to meet you and all that. What did you want from me? You're not even dead. Nothing really. Hey, what are you doing? I'm a mortician, if you didn't guess. I cut up the cadavers around here. I see. So how's that job for you? Petrov shrugs and sighs sadly. To some it might seem alright, but note that it wasn't my profession before the war. I had to learn fast, and got hooked on alcohol as a result. I understand. I would do such a job sober as well. Yeah. Hey, if you have some alcohol on you, we can drink it here. Petrov sniffs the air and nervously licks his lips with the tip of his yellowish tongue. Yeah, he's got a problem. Let me ask you some questions instead. Sure, but I won't answer them. I'd like to buy some medications. Go to the retail pharmacy. All the medicine is there. I doubt that what I have will interest you. Nevertheless, it'd be interesting to look at your wares. Alright, maybe we could drink though. Are you up to it? Petrov sighs and nods. I'm always up to it. What can you offer though? Let's do some Ukrainian... how about some Ukrainian vodka? I like the idea. Simple and tasteful. Want to add some clonidine to that? Is it clonidine or clonidine? I'm going to say clonidine. You only live once. Let the clonidine flow. So be it. Petrov gets a pack of pills from his dirty robe's pockets and crushes them into the glasses. My son knows how to drink hard, but I shall not join him. My old age, it sets limits for drug abuse. This is suicide, Donnie. I will not participate in this. The mortician hands you the glass. Its contents have high probability of making you one of his clients. Zdorovi? Drink up. Since clonidine lowers the blood pressure, combining it with alcohol makes your blood vessels spasm. You get drunk instantly, and before you know it, you're on the floor. What now? You don't know how much time has passed. You barely recognize the room you were in. The only thought jumping around your brain is, never again will I drink with that jackass. Try to get up. Hunger and a hangover. Petrov looks at you with a doomed expression. Who knew that your body would react to clonidine like that? My bad. You nearly killed me, you dog. So why did you agree in the first place, then? Quit shifting the blame. Turn your back to him, on him. Petrov the mortician looks around his room with a heavy gaze. When he sees you, he rubs his brow with his index finger and thumb. Yes? What is it? Can I ask some questions? Sure, but I won't answer them. Still, he won't answer my questions? Yeah, right. You just don't want to spill the beans and betray your Martian brethren. Something round. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a banter between the companions. Snores loudly. I'm sleeping. Get away from me. Okay. Well, that's all the hospital staff. I have 525 experience. You get a lot of experience for doing that. I think there used to be a way to milk experience with him by just bringing him alcohol over and over again. I think if you don't take the clonidine, you can do that. Oh, this guy. We'll talk come daybreak. My eyelids are growing heavy. Shoot. I don't know if I can... A severe hangover just won't let you sleep. They say that fighting fire with fire can help. In other words, drinking more alcohol can reduce the sickness. I have a cure for this. Where's it at? There we go. So we need to wait for daybreak. And he's back. A wide-shouldered man of around 40, muscular and balding, is walking around with a huge myrmic by his side. He smiles at you. What, do you like my myrmic? Come closer, don't fret. The little guy is very polite. You're a good boy, right, Bootsy? The man pokes the ant with the toe of his shoe. In response, the insect clacks its mandibles together and nods its hairy, ovoid head. Sure thing. Tell me, what's going on with that ant you have here? Man kneels before the myrmic and starts rubbing its thorax. The mutant insect starts breathing loudly and sticking its tongue out like a happy dog. What's the story? We're both alone in this world, so we started traveling together, entertaining folks and throwing amazing birthday parties for kids, as well as earning a pretty penny. Bootsy will let almost anyone pet him for 5 rubles. I take the money and turn it into sugar cubes and beer. Ah, I never forget reading that filthy, pornographic story by the so-called writer, actually a fiend and a capitalist gremlin, H. Ellison, a boy and his dog. But here nature herself has crafted a better, more family-friendly tale. The adult man and his disgusting, malformed giant ant. Bootsy agrees. Just listen to that purr. I don't know. If it was up to me, I'd grant this El Atrocidad a quick death. Calm down, barkeep. You're just jealous. I bet you'd die to get a magnificent creature like this for your pub. Check it out. The man pulls a beer bottle out of his backpack and inserts it between the huge, razor-sharp jaws of the Myrmic. With a small click, the Myrmic bites through the bottle cap and bottle. Your new friend takes a careful drink from the broken bottle, winks broadly, and gives you a thumbs up. You called it Bootsy. Why? Upon hearing his name, the ant's antennae twitch and start probing the air anxiously. His master smiles. When I got my hands on some ant eggs, I didn't know the temperature they needed to hatch, so I placed each of them in a different environment. I put Bootsy's egg in an old, wool-trimmed boot, and he hatched. Unfortunately, his little brothers, Sandily, Furnacey, Toilety, and Friggy, weren't as lucky. God bless their little souls. Why isn't your Myrmic attacking me? Your host scratches the ant's head, and the thing starts vomiting green paste, all the while purring like a house cat, for some other dimension where house cats are enormous, hideous, and terrifying. Who told you all Myrmics are evil? They're social animals. The Hive Queen teaches them to attack humans through a system of pheromonal communication. Bootsy never knew his queen, you see. His anthill was attacked by people from my village up north, while he was just a translucent egg. Thus, he never received the command to kill all humans. Where did you get that beast, man? The Myrmic rolls onto his back so his master can pet his belly. When people from my home village raided the local anthill and started shooting all the ants and throwing Molotovs every which way, I stole some eggs from the royal chamber and took them home. 3 weeks later, my 6-legged son was born. My little worker, my sweetie. Well, I've heard and saw enough for the day. Let's do so. So what can your Myrmic do? I just told you. Petting him costs 5 rubles. Isn't that enough for you? I'm also planning to get a camera and sell pictures of him with people for 10 rubles a shot. Dear, my dear child, would you let your old grumpy father pet this noble creature? See what I mean? Even Grandpa wants some of this sweet Myrmic action. Why don't you all pet him? I don't know what this is insinuating, and I don't know if I want to ask. Well, here you go, Hex. Go pet the ant. Ah, yes. Come here, my little cockroach. You dung beetle, you. Let me pet you good, my sweet and petite mud crab. Biting his yellow tongue with excitement, Hexagen sits before the huge ant. The insect trembles and scuttles back from the old man, flexing its mandibles all the while. When Hexagen reaches out to pet the mutant, it almost bites off his hand. Skr? Angry, red in the face and shaken, Hexagen gets up. My child is willing to pay any sum of money for the right to kill this treacherous vermin right now. He's a millionaire, you know. Sorry, old man. You're just not charming enough for a mutant giant ant. Hexagen curses quietly at the unnatural insect and presents it his clenched fist. Maybe you want to pet Bootsy. Don't be scared. He won't react that way with you. He's a kind beast. Well, take my money. I want to pet it. You stroke the Myrmic's carapace, and the insect purrs and rubs his head against your shoe, like a friendly kitten. Charming. Petting Bootsy only costs 5 rubles, but it's so fun you'll be happy all day long. Maybe Bootsy could also offer some other services. I told you he does not. Is that really so? The man picks up the giant ant and holds it protectively in his arms, like a grotesquely deformed baby. I told you, there are no other services. Whatever you say. Let's see, maybe some other time. Let's change the subject. Can I ask something else? Fine by me. What's your name? Sure thing. I'm Evdokim Durov. a free entrepreneur, and this is my Myrmic, Bootsy. He's very good-natured and adores children. Nobody ever passes up the chance to pet this charismatic fellow. We'll see. Another question. How long are you staying in the city? Me and Bootsy, we sort of got stuck here. Initially we planned to travel the land, entertaining people everywhere we go. But life is just too darn calm around here, so we stayed. Yeah, it's pretty calm, alright. Another question. What do you do for a living? What are you, some kind of dummy? Here he is, my little Bootsy, the giant ant. He's my job. He earns me a living. Right, how silly of me. Have you heard anything interesting lately? I thought Bootsy was a lucky find, but I heard one dude by the name of Asha Episcopasian has several Myrmics, a giant wasp, some horned smelt, and an arachnidus. He transports them in giant balls which he loads into his truck. Whenever Ashet feels threatened, the balls open and the mutated horrors within, while everyone in sight with their terrifying attacks and powers. That's a Pokemon reference. Is this Russian for ketchup? Because it's Ash Ketchum. I don't know. Sometimes life is a terrible thing. Well, it looks like we've talked about everything. See you. What did I get that one experience for? I saw people walking in here, I thought. Where'd they go? Must have made a run for it. There's a guy in like a red shirt with a beard I was going to try and talk to. But that's okay. We can go back here and rummage through the dumpster real fast. It's not like there's anything on that side. Hey, 1 ruble. What a find. Alright, I think we've talked to this guy already, right? He's, yeah, Gina. That's the Mycelium Society. Or cult. Bunch of individual houses over here. A plump, red-cheeked woman in her 30s looks at you with a mock reproach, her arms on her hips, head cocked to one side. I'm sorry. What do you think you're doing inviting yourself into other people's homes like this? Looking for adventures? Yeah, what if I'm actively looking? So insolent. You should be ashamed of yourself. The woman lowers her eyes. You wanted something? So on the nose. Alright, we'll try it. An adventure for 2. A very hot adventure. And very private. The woman rolls her eyes and laughs primly, covering her mouth with her hand. Tell me then, does your wife know what you make that you make passes at poor housewives here? If you don't tell her, my husband will as he's explaining why he shot you. Being married has never stopped anyone. Like you, beauty. Show your muscles. The woman's mouth opens automatically, and for a long minute she seems at a loss for words. Your outstanding muscles mesmerize her. At last, she shakes her head with a feigned reproach. It's so rude. Are you one of these, the barbarians? With an abrupt gesture, pull the woman to you by the waist. But this is what you want, isn't it? You speak confidently and in a very seducing manner. The woman gives a flirtful laugh and passes her finger over your chest. Oh, what is this? Are you asking me out, or... Well, we could go to a tavern. The woman smiles sadly and shakes her head. How vulgar. A tavern. The city has many eyes. You can't even imagine. It's a stupid idea, really. I'm married and I love my husband. Stop it. Why is our Krasno full of pickup artists and gigolos all of a sudden? Don't answer. Forget it, okay? I've crossed the line. Forgive me. Alright. You again, young man. Why do you keep coming here? I just wanted to talk to you. The woman weighs up your words and finally smiles. Okay. You caught me while I was getting bored out of my wits. Sure. Let's talk. So I'm sure we could have hooked up with her if I went with that second option instead of suggesting the tavern. Oh well. I'm not going to encourage adultery, so It's fine that we didn't. What's your name, if you don't mind my asking? I'm not really keen at giving my personal details out. My name is Borislava Ivanovna, or just Borya, or Slava. And yours? My name is... Donnie. Nice to meet you. My husband has the same name. And who is your husband? This is confidential. The woman gives you a playful smile, but says no more. Come on. I'm your friend. Your secret will be safe with me. Alright, you've convinced me. He's a guard, at the bunker of the Chamber of Commerce. He loves me, I know. I know. He worries about me. He's always worried, but he has less and less time for me. I see. I'll keep this in mind. Another question. The woman nods with a smile. What do you usually do? You know it already. Just busy with the household. Getting bored, really. Alright, then I have another question. Tell me about this city. There have been many tourists coming recently. The woman doesn't look at you, but rather through you, as she says that. Probably scrutinizing the past only she can see. I see. This was short. Another question. Have you heard any interesting rumors? Nothing but utter horrors. You probably like spooky stories, but I have to sleep alone most days of the week. After hearing about worms that get under your skin through your private parts, about Hesperus Star, and the creepy tunnel right here in the area, I barely stifle the desire to run to my neighbors for comfort, so don't even start. Right, forget it. Let's change the subject. Alright, then you have to handle boredom sure. Ask all you want. Anything is better than dying here from boredom. Then you'll have to handle boredom yourself, and I'd better go. I wonder if I don't have the stats, or, well... No, there's at least one more NPC I think I can hook up with this playthrough. And then there is a brothel. I think it's in Paragon. It might be here. Let me check. Not that I'm super concerned about it, but... there are achievements. Yeah, this is the brothel. And there's actually something you can do that I didn't do last time at the brothel. If you spend enough time with one of the patrons there. She reveals something on the map, I think. Anyway, I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one we'll continue talking to the citizens of Krasno. Again, this is going to take a long time. We still have all the merchants and everybody to talk to. It's, I may have underestimated how many episodes it's going to take. I think I said 3. It's probably going to be more like 5, maybe 6. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.